Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find his way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. Tonight you're in for a special treat because you're about to be shared with what happened up in Virginia, in Eastville, Virginia, a couple of weeks ago at the Accomack Indigenous Summit. When you see your people in action, you get a whole, when you're around people that you like-minded, thinking the same thing, seeing the same thing, feeling the same thing, when you're around those type people, and the high you get off that is like no other. So tonight we've assembled and we want to share our experience. Everybody wants to share their experience of what they felt up there. We want to share it with you, the audience, because we think it's something that this is something we have to do. We can't be here screwing around. Everybody sees what's going on in the world. We can't act like we don't see it and don't do nothing about it. What is history gonna say about us? So we just gonna go ahead and pass the baton. I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna just say this about the trip. You're connected to a source that's unbelievable. If you just heard the stories that people said and where they lived and see how they live, you wouldn't even believe it because you've been told something different from somebody else. Find your people. Gabe, it's on you.
Hey. I just want to say that going to the council, the summit, it gives me hope. It gives me hope that we can reach far more people than we're reaching, and that our reach is far more reaching than we might believe. You know, just being in the energy in the room, from the music to the people to the stories to all of it. You know, it was just it was great last year because we were outside, we had good weather, and it was a great feeling of a vibe going. But you know, obviously the rain forcing us inside, the vibe didn't change, and actually it was palpable because we're inside and all this vibration is going on in the room, all this energy is going on in the room. I don't really think that there was a unhappy soul in there the entire time I was there on Sunday. It was just beautiful. And we're learning so much, and that's the beauty of it. We're all learning so much. We may have different opinions on different things, but at the end of the day, we all know that we're engines. And yes, I use the term engine because that's my. I'll explain it some other time, but that's actually what we used to call ourselves when we couldn't call ourselves Indians in certain parts of the country. So the beauty is that we know that we are the American Indian. The beauty is that we know that this is our land. And it's all a matter of keeping that energy going, moving forward, and at the same time, understanding our impact, learning our impact, because I think that we're reaching people. To be honest with you, I know people who are talking about the indigenous thing outside of America, who are Americans, if you will, but just live in other countries. So that's a beautiful thing. So I'll leave it at that and let you get back to it, Harry.
Do we have dead air? What's going on?
No, I thought, we was going to just, the
Just
next
roll
person,
on.
the next
Who's
person, the
supposed to
next
be
person,
next?
whoever's next.
Me, Penny. I just wanted to thank everybody who came out to support the Akamakis. It was a beautiful thing to have so many people come out when so many people are afraid of COVID. And the weather was like the worst weekend in October. Like it never rains on October weekends, but it rained, the entire weekend, and people still came out, still supported, still shared their information and knowledge that they have. Um, travel from all over the country, and I truly appreciate the support that we're getting. Zena, you're next.
Hello. I just appreciated all of the unity that we had. It was almost like a family reunion. I know that we've all been scattered. We've been tattered by what we've been called, what we've been through. And my thing is always to encourage people to try to talk to people who know who you are or what you called yourself without being named in any kind of a document as far as legally. My ancestors called themselves, they called themselves the natural people. And they said, you know, my grandmother would say, we are the natural people of this land. We're the natural people of the earth. And so what I did is like a patchwork quilt. We just take all the little pieces of information and we try to verify your oral information by documents, because that's what you're going to need to move forward. I don't so much push DNA because, you know, we don't know where they've charted you to be as people. They're still trying to make us children of the African slave trades, when a lot of us know that we've been here for generations. And I just say, if you know that, you know, you can stand on that and just remember that we are all united and we're trying to come back from what we were told we were to what we know we are. That's pretty much it.
Great, all, and I came. First of all, I have to say thank you for inviting me for a second year. The first year that happened last year in October. There were people that came way from California. It was just a magnificent experience. This year was also magnificent, even though, like you were saying, it rained. It brought such a special, soulful feel amongst all the people there. And take a look at that. They had a giant tree, and to take a look at that brought me back. I was doing my own research about how far one can go. I thought I went pretty far to the 17, early 1800s, but they were able to go back all the way, I think, to the 1500s. It was mind blowing. To have an understanding of who we are that far. What I really took away from it was constructive conversation. Constructive anytime you spoke to somebody there, it was really constructive. If it wasn't about
Anu, can you just go ahead and cut, because you coming in horrible. Can you go ahead and take over?
Halito. I had a wonderful experience. It was so dope. The rain didn't stop anything. The vibe was absolutely sunny. We met family there that we did, and this is what happens when we get to talking and we get to talking about genealogy and the history, and particularly in Virginia, which is my homeland. And then days later, I had to contact Lisa because I go back in my tree. I do have West. And I found my grandmother's birth county was Accomack. So I'm more familiar with them being in Gloucester and Prince Edward counties, and those areas, but I did not know that she was born in, and the oldest child, which was my aunt, was born in Accomack. So I have a history there, and I saw certain names that Lisa had with these beautiful artifacts and different valuable treasures that have our history and our face on it, these wonderful books and all of this different eye candy, just interesting things about our culture that she has, even from the metals, the shackles, the irons, just so many dope things. The people that came out, they came out all days that we were there. The plantation, it was just fantastic, even down to the little crusty crab that we were chasing when I was doing my live as we were walking through the plantation. It was absolutely dope. I had a grand time. I had a grand time. I wish I made it last year, but next year I'm definitely, yeah, I can tell you where I'll be in October. Shout out to the Accomac.
What's going on?
Lisa, you're out.
I can't. I couldn't get a mic. I'm muted. Oh, okay. Oseo Jolito. I mean, thank you, everyone. Like seriously, like reaching out to everybody. I was so like moved last year, this year. It's all the way around. Everybody came out. They didn't know me from nothing. Going to a place, this remote place, ain't nobody heard of. I mean, it was amazing. And I'm so thankful for everybody and what they did and the people that showed up that were family and people that showed up, that all these academics that came from all over the country. I mean, it's just so amazing. The ancestors are working really hard. And the fact that Phoenix finds out that she's actually an Accomack Indian a couple of days later, that's just what's working. That's just what's working. Because, that's how we do things. Like last year, she was the first person I contacted. So it's like really crazy how they throw you in the right direction and you're just being moved. You're just being moved. So it's very important. Like with this summit, it was like the motivating feature of the summit was like we need to start controlling our future. Because what we've become these slaves that allow others to control us. Don't let massa know. Let's be quiet. No, let's go meet in the back of the church, and when the moon is full, then we'll go ahead and meet and daggone, beat the drum. No, okay. Let's be bold. This is a different time for a different approach. Let's just be real. We ain't gotta worry about them because guess what? They spy on us anyway. They send their spies. Let's be real. Let's start controlling our future, but it begins with our hearts and our minds. And our minds have to really understand how masterful and wonderful we are. We have to start loving ourselves, appreciating it in each other. All these people are such amazing people, like, the enlightenment and all the knowledge that Phoenix Moon brings to the table. It's like everybody has all these unique things. Rick Moon, man, he had the place tore up. He was talking about all like I mean, he was talking about us getting back to nature. He was talking about the difference between us and Africans, and the way he words things, man, it just like it goes right to your to the soul, right? It's amazing, it's food for the soul. And then you got this, you got of course, Kerry. Kerry is a wealth of knowledge, and he's just like, warmly shares his forum with everybody and gives everybody a chance to kind of express themselves. But he always has these really good nuggets of like no bullshit information, and that's what we need. And then you got Gabe, and he's kind of like the political guy. Like he kind of, in a way, he lives in a world of social and political kind of where norms. So he kind of gives like some kind of realistic perspective to kind of what you're doing, real life perspective, and this and that. And we need that balance. We as a people, we have to appreciate people and everything they bring. My sister Penny, man, she was cooking, she was fixing things, she was building things, she was organizing things, she was hosting, she was being she was organizing, she was getting the speakers to speak, answer them questions and keeping everything moving. I mean, what a blessing to have family that jump in when you can't be there and when you can't do. That's like I love my sister. And then Zena was like this stranger that I just read upon. who was nosy and all up in my business and ended up being this masterful wealth. Like she's like a Yoda of information that just puts me in awe every time, her nuggets of like things, and then her grounding that she is such an academic, that she has such a grasp on our history and our culture, and just the realness of how we lived and how we vibed. It's just such a blessing that she was there for us. And then of course you got Ron, or his idea was to do this whole thing. He's trying to guide the future, of us as a people. Like he wants to make sure that, although we're getting together, we're not just getting together and not getting anything done. And I thank him for actually calling for this round table, for this, you know, um, a state of the nation, of the of the American Indian nation. Thank you, Ron Anu, for doing that. That's just amazing. And then we have this young brother, Tyrone. That's what we need, man, because I'm old and tired. Like, we need, you got, thank God, we got young people who have fire and who are informed. He was bringing so much good information and so much enthusiasm to the summit. Like, it was amazing. Plus, he's a fly artist. I mean, the people, the power that we have, all the gifts that we bring, it just makes me want to cry. It makes me want to cry because we don't really appreciate ourselves at all. We don't see how wonderful we are. It just kills me. I feel like the main thing that we need to get to is a thing of like that we, first of all, we love and respect the greatness of the people that we are. I feel like once we start loving and respecting ourselves, we can love and respect each other and care enough to invest in each other and trust enough to invest in each other. Me and Zeta was having a this conversation. She was talking about the Mexicans that were living 20 into an apartment, and then they built a whole shopping mall in Georgia together. They didn't build it. They took over like an abandoned mall and have like all these different businesses in there. We don't do that because who do you think you are? Oh, you better do it. You better hide, you better not let nobody know. Or you might not. Or we do that to each other. We sow doubt into each other, which is devastating. Sowing doubt must stop. Stop giving out the doubt. That's some bullshit. Okay? We have to sow positivity and encouragement into each other. That's what we have to do. We have to also give our dollars to each other. Stop holding on to your coins like if you hold on to them, they're going to grow. You're not going to get anything with a closed fist. You have to open up your palm to receive. We have to change our mentality. We have to change the way we do things and how we flow with each other. The other thing we need to do is we have to preserve our people. Stop fucking all these other people. And I'm talking mostly to the men because us women, we actually prefer you brothers. But you daggone Negroes, y'all like everything. And y'all need to stop that. We need to start preserving ourselves with intent. Not because coincidentally the Indian woman, the American Indian woman prefers the American Indian male. No, it can't be a coincidental. It has to be on purpose because all these predators and parasites are preserving themselves on intent. The other thing is we need to be bold when we talk about ourselves and our history and not just talking to our families because we really got to start talking to our families more. But we also need to talk to the colonizers and these parasites that are invading our country. They need to know who we are. And we need to say it at every turn when we go to the gas station, when we're at the supermarket, when we're in a Uber. We need to speak our identity and our history to these people because they need to be they need to be on alert, and that we're awake and that we know who we are, and they need to know their place and how it fits in with our place. But I also think we need to start organizing our own family reunions on Indigenous People Weekend. I think that we need to make that a more powerful weekend and use that weekend to make it our official family weekend, family reunion weekend, and start forming your family reunion now. Start planning it. Plan it for October. And if you want, you could join us in Virginia because you'll have speakers and other people who your family might believe better than you. Or you could plan your own summit if you live in Florida, Chicago, Cali, Texas, Mississippi, You could plan your own summit, New England. But we need to make a point of getting together with our family. Family reunions are mandatory. And American Indian family reunions have to start happening immediately. So plan yours. I say next year on Indigenous People Weekend, make it your family reunion weekend. That's all I got to say.
All right. This is Rick Moon. I'd like to say that I really enjoyed myself at the summit, and I'd like to thank Lisa for inviting me because I didn't even know I was expecting to come up there until she invited me, and I really had a wonderful time. And it's good to get together as a collective. More importantly, as a group to discuss our people, what's going on with them, and what we need to do to move on as a people. And I was also impressed with all the history that Lisa was able to provide right there in my face. I found out a lot of stuff that I didn't know, which was a good thing. And I enjoyed all the people. I want to thank all the people who came up and spoke to me, and everything. And Lisa's sister can cook, y'all. She ain't no penny to me. She $1 million to me, and I don't care what nobody say. But then again, once again, I'd like to thank y'all for letting me come up and get with all of y'all superstars and speak my little piece. Thank you.
SJ Estango. I'd like to thank Lisa for the event that y'all had recently earlier this October, and what she was saying about showing stuff to the colonizer. I'm more interested in like the media angle. Like you have like people funding these projects for like fan films or licensed products. Why can't we like make our own like movies of our ancestors? You have you spend all your money with these Hollywood studios, and we can have like our own like little movie studios down here in the South. You got Tyler Perry with his own studios. Are you going to trust him with his whole LGBT Christian lifestyle to make your story? That's all I have to say. And for Penny Cypress, thank you for the food that you offered us. And thank you, Lisa, for having a nice venue for us and a place to stay at. And that's my time.
You don't have, I'm just saying, dude, just don't, how dudes be going over 45 minutes. That's all I'm saying. Listen, the brother you just heard speak, Tyron, this dude is off the hook with his art. Anybody need any cartoon work, any artwork, any family artwork, you need a picture drawn of your girl, Tyron Lou. You can reach Tyron at what?
You can reach me at my Instagram, Red Turtle Taliban. That's red_turtle_Taliban. And you can reach me at my other Instagram, Tyrone_, that's Tyron actually, _Lamar_ Leung, Leung, Instagram, or you can reach me at my Facebook, Tyron Leung, or my Gmail, Tyrone Kennard 444@gmail.com.
Cool, man. Thank. I knew you back, man. I listen. It was just your sound was coming in kind of messed up, dude. But I wanted people to hear you because I wanted you to riff on that, the communities, the co-creation communities, and this is where we are now. because we see this shit is about to fall, y'all. Come on. Be right. We ain't even on the map. Anu, what should we be doing as co-creation communities? What should we be doing at this time?
From my opinion, I think we should team up. Hold up with the sound.
What you saying? What you saying?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is that the voice? So with communities, and again, we were talking about constructive conversation that we're having. It's going to be extremely important once you begin finding your heritage. What's important about it is that once you begin to your heritage, you'll be able linking up with not family members, but other in your group with like, and it doesn't have to be large groups. Everybody's always thinking about having.
Anu is coming in. I don't know what, he's up there with all them trees are in New York, so that may be it. But we can't hear him. But check this brother out. He's on Dark Matter Radio. And he gives you a political view on what's going on. Because all of us don't have the same information. Some people are into the spiritual work, like Zena. How do we, so we're into this COVID stuff and Jesus ain't showed up and we still confused and all that. How do we get unconfused?
Well, the first thing we need to do is we have to meet people where they are. And if they're at the point where they're still into a organized religion, we have to respect that, because once you offend, you lose your right to continue and to gain a person. So you don't want to just shoot them down because they believe in something that you think is a fairy tale or that you think is, ridiculous.
Some stupid shit.
Okay. Yes, but once you do that, if that's where that person is, you're not going to be able to get to the point where you can talk to them if you automatically offend them. If you walk up to somebody and cut them, then you say, I was hoping we could be friends. Well, no, man, you just cut me. So what we have to do is we have to be able to respect people where they are with the intent of forming a relationship where you can get, give them information and, educate them. We know that, most organized religions indoctrinate people. We're indoctrinated because all they need is a few, bobbleheads to be able to be smart enough to continue their way of life. You have to be smart enough to do the jobs, to pay your taxes and to get their money and keep their, community going. But as indigenous people, where we want to get to the point where we are collectively growing our own community, we have to gain people first. We don't want to offend someone to the point where, your religion's just stupid and, they're not going to be willing to even hear you anymore after that. But what we have to do is realize that everything that we have been taught, look at it as if you've been lied to. Until you can prove that you have, just look at it as if you have been lied to, as if you have been indoctrinated to be controlled, and get to the point where you have a spiritual relationship with whoever your higher power is and whoever in the earth and other people in the earth. You don't want to, like I said, you don't want to negate anyone's religion, because that is a part of who their identity is at this point.
Yeah, but hasn't that been a problem? Hasn't that been a thorn in the side? And now we're just going to
Well, I mean, by and by they can come to see it your way. But if you walk up to them and cut them first, they're not even going to want to hear you from that point.
They're cutting themselves. I don't do that. They cut themselves by their rhetoric and their actions.
But I mean, but you have to.
I'm not going to say their actions don't exist. That's how we got in this mess.
But what we have to do in order to gain people is we have to allow them to speak and to walk and to believe as they do now without criticism, unless you can give them something constructive and something that's tangible that proves that what they believe and they think is error.
Okay.
Not based on how you see it, but based on something that you can.
Because see, they don't see it no kind of way. And how I see it is, look, we need to grow this hemp, we need to grow this cotton, we need to grow something.
Right.
We need to get connected back into the earth like we used to do. Like how you used to look on the $50 bill. You was creating something out of the earth. But now I can't do it. My head hurt. What? You got to be kidding. We got 2 million men sitting in jail rotten. And because we haven't thought of nothing.
But how is you offending someone and tearing them away from their foundational self going to help you build?
I'm not offending nobody. If your ass is a crackhead and you know a crackhead is normally a loser.
Okay, but we went from talking about people that are practicing something that's self-destructive to somebody believing a faith system.
If you can't look out into nature like Rick Moon say, if you can't look out into nature and see yourself in nature, what do you want me to say? You're not part of this. This is the earth.
And you have to understand that there will be.
This is what God created.
And there will be things that will fall off, and in things that there are also going to be people that are lost because not everybody's going to be one to your way of thinking.
I don't want them to think of. Why would I want somebody to think like me?
No, I'm just saying where you say that we get to a point where we grow our own hemp and we grow, I don't know, sunflowers, corn, whatever else that we're going to use as a corporate product. Until you get them to be in a mind of unity with you, you're not going to be able to discuss any of that other stuff.
I'm not trying to get them because listen, this is what I've been taught, and you tell me if I'm wrong. Matter of fact, I got this from you.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you tell me that your grandmama said that our veins were like the lakes and rivers?
Yeah, she said that. Yeah, she just said that we are connected because we all come from one main source, which would be the ocean, and our veins are like the rivers, and each of us have veins, and if we were to connect them, we would be just like the river system that flows throughout the earth. You know, we would be the ocean would feed into us, and we would be feeding into one another, and it would be continuous.
May I retort?
Yes.
If that's the case, if that's what your grandmama told you, I'm telling you the same thing. Well, I shouldn't have to tell you nothing.
You shouldn't have to, but everybody, some people have a dam. What if they build a dam and their river's not flowing?
Baby, this planet is moving around this whole universe. If you can't pick up on the frequency of what's going on, if you can't see 20 years down the road, what am I going to tell you? You have to want to do that.
I'm gonna jump.
You have to want to know that these people are trying to kill your ass off the planet, and you have to be the one to try to do something to stop it.
I'm gonna jump in because you have to understand that many of us were enslaved, and we were actually bred to be ignorant chattel. We got a lot of can't get right, won't get right people. That's the reality of it. They just can't get right. That's why if they talk about some of us being on welfare, fuck you, you made us. Okay? You made us that way. However, those people still need help, assistance, guidance, patience, understanding, love and support, caring, all that shit. But they're not going to get it because they are impaired.
That's not my point. I realize, I mean, the people that just take a shit in the middle of the street. What I'm saying are the people who aren't there, the people who are better, the people who have the means to make it better for other people. That's how I'm not talking about them. Listen, do you know what they do to the normal brother when he goes into the military? See, that's stuff we don't want to talk about. Do you know why all these homeless cats on the streets, military or ex-military cats? We don't want to talk about it because we let it happen. We played that shit. They're going to protect our country. And look what it done to your sons. You know, and you still don't care. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the ones who can't help themselves shouldn't get the most help, because they should, but they don't, and nobody cares. I'm saying the motherfuckers that can, the motherfuckers that do, the ones that will, we gotta up our game. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We saw at the Accomack Summit. Brilliant people. Brilliant people.
If you can do better, you should do better.
That's all I'm saying.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, and here was somebody else who was in. Tasha Z, you gotta unmute your mic because you up next. How you doing, Tasha Z? You are wonderful there too.
Hi, Gary. Thank you. You too.
Can I say something about Tasha real quick?
Can y'all hear?
Tasha was there last year. Tasha came through. I mean, it was amazing. She drove in the rain. It was like, Tosh, I owe you. It's, you know what I mean? Tosh
No
did
problem.
the most, and I so appreciate you. I so appreciate you. I wish I could have done more. You know what I mean? Because I really do love and appreciate all you have done. All you have been is amazing. And
Thank
all the
you.
information you contribute every day, all the time, is like so superior and so great, and people benefit every day from what you do. Thank you so much. I gotta thank you. I'm gonna exit now.
Oh, no problem. Appreciate you too. Thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed myself both times I was down there.
Yeah.
So this is what you had. You had a quadrille of people. You had a how you oh. You've had a quadrille of people who met each other for the first time, a lot of times, second time, third time. They don't meet each other like you meet your neighbors, like you meet the people in your cities, the people you go pick your coffee up from. Most of these people just met each other for the first few times. And it was great. Everybody was respectful. Everybody wanted to learn. Those who didn't have anything to give, they sat back and learned like we should do. But my favorite person there, everybody was my favorite, but this woman was my favorite because every morning I woke up, bacon, well, how you, Penny, thank you. And you heard a few of the guests talk about Penny before. Penny held it down, made sure we was fed. And this is what I mean about the American Indian Party. Since this sister can cook, and there's so many of us around us can cook, shouldn't we have restaurants all around the country?
Indeed.
Indian, I mean, come on.
Oh, hell no. That's the last thing I want.
No, I know you wouldn't do it. But I mean, but Penny, whatever, restaurants. It's a cool idea, and you just duplicate it around the world. This is hotels. How come we're not come on, y'all. Come on.
Well, I will say this. Penny, you sure good at organizing. Penny was on top of everything. We didn't need anything at all. The food was absolutely in abundance. It was delicious. Everybody, I don't mess with people. Eggplant. Penny made a bomb. Eggplant, bomb. Right? It's certain things you just remember, but just the hospitality, the way, and even at the events, everybody, it was sharing and caring, and it was just such a dope vibe, and it all just went well. And they act like, we can't get along, and that's so not true. And that's what it made a powerful effect that even days later, we're still high off of these things. We're still positive. We're still motivated. We're still ambitious. We're still going forward after all of these. And then there's always the storms that happen as you're trying to put these things together. And Lisa driving, whipping up and down the King's Highway, right? The old highway, okay? The old 95, right? Just no sleep. And yeah, are you getting any rest? And I'm like, okay, no sleep till Brooklyn. I get it. And she works so hard. There were some things that stuck out, and I absolutely heard you. And I'm pretty sure everybody else did, but mentioned, she said, and I don't believe it because she's not getting old. She getting right, but she said we're getting old and we're getting tired. Now that's not the first person but 50 that I'm going to say that said that. So with that being said, we had things like people like the work that Tyrone had together. We had different things to look at from the youth that was inspirational to us all. And I just want to make sure that you guys are secure, and we can assure you that it's a lot of us that are going to absorb everything that you would love to teach us. We're going to make sure that we retain the information and do the right thing that you want us to do with it.
Check this out. Later for that. If anybody needs a comedian, Phoenix Moon. Rick, am I lying? Rick, am I lying?
No, you ain't never lied.
If you need a
You ain't
comedian
never lied.
at your birthday party, at your anniversary party, whatever, if you want to do it in this COVID-19 shit, however you want to do it, Phoenix Moon will have your ass on the floor. Trust me. So look.
We just had a really great time. I just want, we're moving forward. I agree 100%. We don't have to hide anything. Of course, the right hand don't need to know what the left's doing, but the Indian ain't in hide no more. I think we did enough of that for centuries. It's time for all of the bells and whistles. And put some respect on our name. I know I'm certainly not afraid. The American Indian
Phoenix, what are we going to do to counteract the ADOS, the FBA misinformation? Like with Tariq Nasheed coming out with claiming that we're Maroons and Moors and stuff like that, and that we descendants of slaves. What's the media approach?
The one thing that we have is the records, right? The records, the documentation. And this is what I say when it comes to all parties involved that are against the American Indian, who pose a threat to our posterity. I will say that.
You know your mama did.
I will say this. Certainly,
like 9.9. So
somebody's background. I can't hear what you're trying to say.
Okay, I think that's better. I just want to say the Native Americans, they were not documented in the 13 colonies. They don't really have anything to say. They're in their position. They should be secure in that, and they can go back to the day before they ever heard that African Americans ain't African. We don't want anything that they have. We don't want to have the same wants, needs, or desires. And as far as the Pan-Africans and the pro-Black people, more power to them. they're always going to have to go back to our talking points, regardless. At the point until we establish our own political party, we have plenty of grounds to stand on. A lot of us have a lot of great things going for ourselves, and as do others that have yet to be mentioned or nor may be mentioned later on because they're behind the scenes and they have great influence and great belief in what it is that we're doing and want to see this thing to go forward as long as everybody's here. So what I say to the panel,
will there be like movie products or music or anything outside of like social media or something like that coming up to combat all the misinformation?
Absolutely. There's a whole bunch of projects that we all have collectively. We got some good things going on in the background with some top dogs that want to see things through. Again, we got to protect certain situations that people are in with confidentiality until it's time to make it do what it got to do. But definitely our own media, that has to happen. I have talked to a couple of people about creating a children's show. That'll be really cool. I always love Sesame Street and Electric Company, so we have things for people.
Yeah, I have a similar concept on that idea as well. So could you share any links with people who might want to link up to get some started?
Absolutely. Well, you can always reach out to us at nograndmakillers@gmail.com. Certainly we'll get the message and we'll respond, especially if you have your talents. Tyrone, maybe we can highlight some of the beautiful things that you've created. You have such a dynamic catalog, and to be so young, I definitely wanted to shout you out. You're super talented. I pretty much told you that all weekend. You like the annoying little brother, but I absolutely adore you. It was so great to finally meet you. You're super intelligent. I believe in your talent. I definitely believe in your work. And I just wanted to compliment that from you. I definitely wanted to compliment that from you.
Thank you.
Oh, when do you hear a sister talk to a brother like that?
He was absolutely dope. Tyrone he was absolutely dope. He's such a cool cat. And he's you're a smart young brother, and we need more like you. And I hope you guys multiply. We want to make sure that you guys get the right platform, because there's a lot of different things that you did with your choices, and they were a lot wiser than others. And that needs to be complimented and promoted and magnified, right? And magnified.
Yes, ma'am. And we got to get you to do something too. We got to get you in animation form. We got to get you, Carrie, everybody in there.
Absolutely. We got we certainly got you. We got brother Cottrell. That y'all got some dope things going on. I'm super excited. We definitely gonna spend more time with each other. I'm super looking forward to that. Yeah, and everybody knows working with Tasha is like the dopest. Tasha is like so super uber organized and everything. She's like the dopest to work with. Everybody, Zena, it was absolutely awesome to meet you too.
Oh, and I also like to thank that guy that came out to see us. That was talking about the magazine he put out. The one that came with the man named Zulu or something like that.
Well, I don't know if he's here right now, but if he's listening.
No, I don't think he's on the podcast, but if he's listening, you know who you are.
You know, one of the things I want to talk about is the sister who was up there named Zena. Zena was one of these sisters, just very soft-spoken, but when she spoke, she hit the nail on the head. Zena, you were sharing about what your grandmother told you about our veins. Could you go into that? Could you share that with the audience?
Oh, my grandmother always said that we were the people of the land. And I was, asking her, was actually my great grandmother. And I was like, how? And she said, well, think about it. She said, everything that we're born with as women is inside our bodies when we're in the womb of our mothers. And she said, if you think about it, she said, our veins are the same way. She said, they connect us to each other the same way that the ocean is connected to rivers. So she said, you come from, you know, one person. She said, but you're connected through those veins from generation to generation. She said, you can go backwards and you can go forward because your veins are connected just as the rivers of the world are connected.
Now, do you see?
Have you been able to get Cynthia in there?
No, I don't see
Cynthia was
her.
backstage.
I don't see her.
Disappearing.
Because she definitely got it. Oh my God. I haven't seen her all night. I haven't seen her all night. But one thing, and this is what I'm saying. So this sister's telling you, her people is right there on that eastern shore where we had the summit at. And I think a lot of times when we look at the city, we look at it from somebody else's point of view. And when you get to look at it from the people's point of view, you really start getting some shit. You really start to feel it. So we went through a cemetery, nothing but Negroes in that mud. Nothing but Negroes in that cemetery. And, you know, Lisa took a lot of people in there to, you know, we cleaned off because Lisa told me when she first went in there, she cleaned off the markers. So I'm going to go in there, I'm going to clean off the markers. So when she says what her people told her to do, she brought all those people walking on her ancestors' land. You think I don't want to be with her? Connecting the people to the land, y'all. This is your land and you forgot about it. And you motherfuckers that been acting an ass these few years, you gonna get it. This is the American Indian Party. Why is
Cynthia's in the back.
Trump inviting?
Cynthia's backstage. You know, she's one of my local council people.
Oh,
Do you see her?
Okay, look, I can't see, but I'm about to see. Hey, man.
Hey, Carrie, could you explain that American Indian Party for the people in the back? Because I don't think they understand, because they going by Aboriginal, Indigenous, American descendants of slaves, foundational Black Americans. Could you explain the American Indian Party for the people?
If I can answer that, if I'm gonna answer that, Tyrone, you did ask me that too, and you hit it with a different barrage of bullets. But let me just explain this. The records don't lie. Whatever it is that they're talking about, whatever claim that they make, the burden of proof is going to be on them, right? And for the American Indian, the proof is in the documentation. It's already there. It's not going away. We're not going away. So that has to count for everybody in the world. And this is for all oppressed people, irrespective of person, whoever you are, grandma, grandpa's business is what you better get to if you are looking to not be oppressed, right? Also, governing people have to know this. And that's what I'm going to say about that. It's kind of like the hot dog on the dog chasing a hot dog on the treadmill, because they're really not going to get anywhere and they gain a lot of momentum. And I believe that they have a lot of hype, but that's really all it is. At the end of the day, if they can't establish their ancestry, they don't have the same leg to stand on. And I think they know that. They're pretty aware of that. And that is part of the infiltration, where everybody is going to want to cling to the American Indian community and the foundation of it because it is solid. So for all of the things that we said over the years, and these are the same people that 5-10 years ago was saying that a big head scientist named Yakub created white people, right? They had an answer for everything except for who their third great grandmother is. The jig is up now. So whatever it is that they're talking about, the burden of proof is always going to be on them.
So the mother has spoken. Now her son, because you know mothers have us sons. American Indian Party, going back to what you were saying, Tyron. American. When these people finally got their language down right and they wanted to establish it here, because this is American English. This ain't British English, French English, because when they coming into you, you make them change stuff because the shit is stupid. That's why their language always changes and everything is always confusion, because these motherfuckers didn't even know how to write. And they came here and they've been living better than they lived at any time in history. Can I get an amen? So this is all I'm saying. And you can, I don't believe in that. Jesus didn't tell me. Allah, I didn't hit you. All that bullshit. This is all I'm saying. America.
So what Gabriel Rich was saying before we started into the conversation live, should we go covert or should we go straightforward and take it to a political arena and have a legit party?
Okay, so this brother is younger than me. So I'm just going to show him something so he'll learn it. I just don't want to tell him no dumb shit. He say, fuck you, nigga. I'm going to show him something so he will learn it. And so hopefully you'll pass this on to any different brothers. Brother, what was your question?
Oh, I said, should we, the conversation was headed towards before we went live. Gabriel Rich was talking something about we should go covert, like take this movement silently, so we wouldn't have any like infiltrators and people taking in other directions into like LGBT issues and feminist issues and all this other nonsense that ain't got nothing to do with us together as a whole. Or should we go forward to a political party and make this thing legit? Like what you see, like celebrities like Ice Cube coming out saying, oh, we need a platinum plan. And I went to both parties and they didn't have anything to offer to us. So I'm just siding with the ones that's actually saying the word black. When black, you're not getting anything with black because you're dead in the eyes of law with that term. So what should we do with the American Indian Party that you're saying that we are?
In the American Indian Party, you tax all the foreigners that are here. I mean, they tax you. How come they can? If you go in their store, they tax you. If you go in their building, they tax you. Whatever you do, they tax your ass.
Without representation.
Why don't you tax them? I'm an African. No, nigga, I'm Greek, nigga. Nigga, fuck that, nigga. I'm Gaelic. Nigga. Negroes will be anything but themselves, right?
They think it's not theirs.
I don't care. Dude, listen to me. And I don't mean no disrespect. I don't give a fuck what they think. Because it ain't working for them. It damn sure ain't gonna work for me.
Time to move forward.
Why are we hanging on to that stuff?
It hasn't brought any fruit.
Why are we hanging on to men who go to other men to feed them? I'll wait. You call yourself Greek, yet you go to the Greek to feed you while your people in the South starve. You walk Kamala Harris through this. How dare you? And you want somebody to speak down and hover and go behind the corner and shh, you better not say nothing. Max are gonna hear. For real, cuz? Really? Now that might work with the African Americans. That might work with the blacks. Dude. I don't.
I think they just want to go for the crumbs and just shut up and.
My foreparents didn't birth me to lose. And I know you can do what you want to do. You can be you, brother. Are you serious? Don't you see the time? Plus the warnings you've had. You gonna act like you don't see it? For real, cuz? For real? For real? You can play all that dumb shit you want to. Your mama didn't raise no dummy. I know some of you think your mama, oh, that bitch didn't do. Like, they're in the trash. Your mama had a fucking enough wherewithal to birth your ass. She could have flushed your ass down the toilet to make life better for her, because she wouldn't have no bills. But no, she had you. She had you. She sacrificed. Shouldn't she get something for that? Damn. So mama always get love. And you bitch niggas go fucking worship on Rick Moon. Why they like that, man?
What was that?
Why they like that?
I have the slightest idea, man. I mean, we can talk all night, but just seems like we're not getting it, man. Seems like we're not getting it, but we're gonna have to get it if we expect to move on. So let's hope.
I think it's institutionalism.
Tyron, please.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really see any defeat at all, and I don't. There's no losing in this situation. This is the right situation, and we happen to have be a part of the precipice of it. We have not hit our apex at all by any means at all. And I think we got a lot of momentum. And I'm pretty sure that grandma and grandpa are going to win. We haven't lost yet. Mm-hmm. It's just some different practical approaches that we have to take that the rest of these niggas is scared to do and they can't do.
Right.
Yeah. Well, good gonna win over evil. So I'm gonna have to agree with that, because as long as you stay on your path, hey, things gonna happen for you.
I agree. Concentrate on what you're doing. You don't have to really concentrate on. Just concentrate on what you're doing, the path that you're on, the path. Keep moving forward. It matters.
Yes, indeed, and
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. You got some nice people out there. You are very important people to the cosmos. So this is the example I gave to somebody tonight, and I hope it can help. Remember, you don't die. Energy can neither be created or destroyed. So don't be scared of death, because you're gonna influence somebody who saw your story. And if your story is righteous, is half right, it's gonna be out there. Why are you here? Why are you here? You're here for something, right? And where did you come from? And why did you land here in America? Why did your ancestors land here in America, if that's the story you want to use? I'm not saying that's the story, but since we are, you guys know we on all different kind of shit. Why did you land here? What is America to the world? What does America mean to the world? And why are you called America? but you don't want to be American. You want to be an Israeli spy in a Stephen King book. You don't want to be you. And so since you don't want to be you, everybody comes over here and pretends like they're you. And they come up. And you jump up and down that they come up, but you still playing, voting. Come on, y'all. Come on. Thank you for joining us tonight. Continue to develop your mind. Develop your mind. Only you can do that. Peace.